You know, there's a lot of businesses that will tell lies to make money, whereas I don't really agree with doing that. Being honest is so important. Transparency. I think we'd also started a huge music festival that was also losing money. We were going to go bankrupt for sure.
What has surprised you most about living in Thailand? Hello everyone. Welcome to ครูหวาน podcast ยินดีต้อนรับทุกคนเข้าสู่ podcast ครูหวานนะคะ Well, actually, I feel really excited, because I always wanted to have my own podcast show, and this is my first show. นี่เป็น podcast แรกที่ครูหวานอยากจะทำมา because, I wanted to help my students, and especially you, to be able to understand English better. And I also love interviewing people. So today I have a very interesting and funny guest that I would like to interview. If you are ready, please welcome Crew Tom. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
So, how are you feeling? How are you today?
I feel pretty good. And I just wanted to say I haven't seen you for so long that it's really nice to see your lovely face.
Right. Okay. I like your hair today.
Thanks. I had it cut especially for the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming, to my show.
You're welcome.
So anyway, it's because you are our first guest, so I feel honored to have you here.
Great. I feel honored to be here.
That's great. Well, it's super formal. Well, anyway, I don't want to make it's probably really formal. I don't really want to make this podcast too formal, you know.
What should I do then? Shall I do something crazy?
Maybe. So anyway, I have several things that I would like to talk to you today, and this is for our lovely students. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, sure.
That's good. Yeah?
Okay.
Well, anyway, we have been together for so many years. How many years already?
Ooh, feels like an eternity.
Eternity, forever.
In a good way.
Look, so I think I met you in 2012, is that right?
Correct.
When I was a student, I was really young, wasn't I?
You were of legal age. You were 22, 23?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
22, I think.
Yeah. Wow, that was like a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
And now we've been married for how many years?
5
Tom, how many years?
5 years.
5 years, but we have
5 amazing years.
That's good. But we have been in a relationship for maybe 10 years or something?
Something like 11 years.
11 years.
11 years.
Okay, that's good. Well, I have so many questions that I would like to ask you today. Shall we start with the first one then? Okay, the first question that I want to know about you, and I believe that, so many of our students will want to know about you as well.
Okay.
So can you tell us about your 20 years in and out of Thailand and what made you come here first?
Okay. Well, I came to Thailand for the very first time in 2004. So, 20 years ago, almost today. What's the date today?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I think it's early May. Yeah, it is early May.
Wow.
So, I actually came exactly 20 years ago because I had my 19th birthday party on Koh Phangan.
เกาะพังงาน
Koh Phangan on the 27th of May.
Nice.
2004.
Wow. And actually your birthday is coming.
Yeah, it's this month. So it was exactly 20 years ago. I flew... Yeah, it was my gap year. I was supposed to go and study at university in Bristol. And instead, I travelled to India and Thailand.
Okay.
And that was in 2004. And I loved it so much that I kept coming for many years. For the last 20 years, I've been coming and going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
นักเรียนคะถ้าเรายังไม่ได้เข้ากลุ่มฝึกพูดภาษาอังกฤษฟรีของครูหวานนี่ไม่ได้แล้วนะตอนนี้เพื่อนๆเข้าไปอยู่ในกลุ่มเยอะมากๆให้นักเรียนพิมพ์คำว่า easy มาในคอมเมนต์ข้างล่างเพื่อเข้ากลุ่มได้เลยนะคะกลุ่มนี้ครูหวานจะมีทั้งทำซูมฟรีแจกชีทฟรีไลฟ์ฟรีมีเชิญแขกเนี่ยมาพูดภาษาอังกฤษในกลุ่มด้วยแล้วจะรออะไรอยู่ถ้าอยากพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้แบบนี้พิมพ์คำว่า easy มาได้เลยค่ะSo why did you come here? What made you come here first? And why did you choose to come to Thailand, not like other countries?
Well, I really wanted to travel to India because I thought that India was like a very like crazy, interesting place. And then I was looking at countries near India that I could also travel to. And my friends had just come back from a trip to Thailand and they said it's like amazing. And it's amazing for parties.
Oh.
And when I was 18, I loved to party. So that was one of the main reasons that I first came to Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
A party head. A party
Before.
animal.
Yes. Before.
Okay. So what has surprised you most about living in Thailand?
Well, these days, things surprise me less than before because I guess now I'm used to Thailand, right? It's normal for me now. But if I think back to when I first came to Thailand, the first thing that surprised me when I landed 20 years ago was actually how clean Thailand is. Because
Okay.
I flew from India, and India 20 years ago, well, I was in Calcutta. So Calcutta 20 years ago was quite dirty, I thought, and also quite busy. And the people at places like the train station and the airport in India would kind of like try to grab you and pull you into a taxi or show you a guest house because back then we didn't have really like social media, TripAdvisor, taxi apps. We didn't have any of that. So it was quite full on. And when I landed in Bangkok, I thought that it was going to be as crazy as India. But the streets were clean and the people were very relaxed. So that was the first thing I found surprising. But other things I found surprising were like the food.
Okay.
The food. I thought the food was like kind of weird
Thai food.
originally.
Oh, of course, because I mean, you never came to Thailand before, and when you were in England, did you like even go to Thai restaurants or something?
No, I'd
Not
never
at all.
ever eaten Thai food before.
Really?
And also, I wasn't really into seafood. So things like fish sauce and like nam prik. When I got to Chiang Mai the first time, I was with some friends and I ate sticky rice with nam prik. And that was like the meal. And I thought that was crazy.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because that's like for an English person who'd never traveled, that was like alien food, right? It's
That's
totally different to English food.
That's true. But now,
Oh,
you
now
can,
it's
you
normal.
can eat spicy food.
Well, before I didn't like somtam. Now it's one of my favorite Thai meals.
yeah?
Yeah.
So that means you can eat somtam every day.
Oh, yeah. I don't, but I could if I had to. Yeah.
Nice. So apart from cleanliness and
Yeah.
food, okay,
Sure.
what else that you know like surprised you when you first came to Thailand?
I mean, there's a lot of differences between English culture and Thai culture. One of the main differences that I still have trouble with is Thais love to talk about poo. They like to talk about key.
Tom,
Can I not say? Am I not allowed to say key on this podcast?
Well,
Is it rude?
Just say poo.
Okay. So, Thais, this is just my opinion, okay? This is my opinion only. I might not be right. I may be incorrect. Like your viewers can tell me. But I think that Thai people talk about poo more than English people.
Well, actually, I guess you were right.
I think so.
Yeah, because I don't know. For me, I feel like I just want to tell people, as a Thai person, I want people to know what what I'm thinking.
Or
I want
what you're
people-
about
I'm
to
up
do. What you're about to do.
Exactly.
You might tell a Thai friend, I'm about to poo. And that Thai friend would say, great.
No, I don't think everybody
Okay.
wants to talk about, their poo and,
Not
and
everybody.
things like that.
Okay.
But with me, yeah, for sure. Sometimes I just want to let my friends know like, oh, ปวดฉี่จังเลยอ่ะ can you go to the toilet with me?
So you can say chi. That's okay to talk
fine.
about. But I can't say the other word.
You can just say อุจ
Ki.
จาระ
No, okay.
อุจจาระ
Ujjara.
Ujjara.
Okay. So this is just my opinion, but I noticed many Thai people saying like, oh, bua, and then that word, and in England, we would never say, oh, my stomach hurts because I need a poo. Like, it's kind of against English culture. So, you know, it's culture. Nothing's right or wrong. It's just different. And it's quite funny. I find it quite funny. But when I first came here, I found it quite shocking to find out that Thai people would talk about that. Because in England, people would say, instead of saying, I need a poo, they would say, excuse me for a moment.
That's the key. And you know, talking about English people, I go to England every year, actually, and every time I go there, I notice that English people say sorry a lot.
We say sorry probably a little too much. Other cultures, like other English-speaking cultures, I don't think they say sorry as much as we do. I think that we can be overly polite, maybe. I think there's quite a lot of similarities with Thai people, though, as well as differences. Like, we share kind of similar humor sometimes. I think English and Thais can both be like quite respectful of each other.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. แน่นอน This is why you and I are together.
Yeah. That sounds like a Spice Girls song.
It's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's deep dive into
Okay.
your background a little bit. Let's
Okay.
talk about your work, you know.
Sure.
So can you talk about when you started working in, you know, English teaching and marketing, and what made you choose this work?
Well, I think I chose to get into marketing not because I actually really wanted to become a marketer. It was more that I've always wanted to have my own business. And when I was in England, I ran shops, but they were franchises. So a lot of it was done for me. Like, I didn't create the products and I didn't have to market the products. I just had to sell the products. So I got very good at customer service and very good at selling. But when I moved to Thailand and you and me started working together and started businesses, I realized quite quickly that just being really good at customer service and selling isn't enough. You need to understand how to create the products and how to market the products. So that's kind of why I got into marketing.
Nice.
And now I really love marketing. I find it's kind of like a game.
It's fun,
for
isn't
me.
it?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have to admit that I love working with you because you have...
I love working with you too.
แน่นอนอยู่แล้ว You have to say that, right? Because I noticed that, you know, I've been working with you for several years and we have been doing several businesses together.
Sure.
I've learned a lot from you because you have taught me, I feel, skills, you know, like soft skills and stuff like that.
Just the soft ones.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and English
What
as
about
well.
the hard skills?
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I mean, what were some big choices that you made early in your career that helped you succeed?
Okay. I have quite clear values, I think, like personal values, which I try to bring into whenever I do business. One of my values that I brought into business, even before I moved to Thailand, was like when managing people, I would always try to put the people before the profit.
I like
You know,
that.
there's many businesses that don't seem to care about their employees, but I actually do care about my employees. And I think if you look after people first, then they will help you to make money later. So that's really important for me.
That's true. That's true. I actually didn't realize this fact, you know, until a few years ago when our business started growing. And I noticed that the more people we have, the more important people are. Because those people will be, what's the word? Those people will be your weapon, will be the power. What's the word?
Well, like you're only as good as your team, right? So I don't always get it perfect for sure, but it's about intention. Like, it's fine to make mistakes as long as you're just trying to do good, you know? And so another idea was that I wouldn't, I don't really want to do business that isn't beneficial, isn't good for the planet. So I try to I try to make with Whan products, like your products, I try to make them sustainable. I try to use as little plastic as possible. I try to use paper in the books that is sourced sustainably, right? So it's about having good practices in business, I think. Being honest is so important. Transparency. In marketing, I don't lie. There's a lot of businesses that will tell lies to make money, whereas I don't really agree with doing that. So yeah, honesty in business is very important.
That's good. And also you mentioned before that you have a strong why if you want to do something.
Oh yeah, so it's really important, I think, with business to know why you're doing it. Okay, so for example, imagine you have a big team of people and you tell your team that the reason we're selling books is for you to make me more money. That isn't a very good why. That's not a good reason to sell books. So you need to go deeper than that, and you need to find out why you're really doing it. And for me, it's not actually for the money. The money comes secondary, and it's important for eating and having somewhere to sleep, right? But what's more important is why you're doing it, what the purpose of the business is. And with our business, it's to improve the English level of Thai people so that they can be more successful, make more money, have a better life. That's the purpose of the business.
That's true. When when I see people and then people ask about Whan English on our page, and when I tell them that I started this page because I just wanted to help people, I just want to do it for fun.
True.
I just went live all the time, if you can remember. I just went live nearly every day, and I just, talk throughout without selling anything because I really want to help people. And I agree with you, because if you have a strong why, if you know why you want to do it, you want to help people, then it will be good for other people and it's good for you.
And especially around content creation, all new businesses, or maybe not all, a lot of new businesses now rely on content creation to find their audience, right? To find people to sell to, you need to create content. And with you actually just really loved making content and really enjoyed helping people. So that's why you're successful you're also a very good teacher, but these elements are why you're successful. If you started with teaching English for free online just for money, it probably wouldn't have worked, because I think a lot of people don't realize that you have to sometimes make content for a whole year before you make one sale. And so if you're not really passionate and you don't have a really strong why, then are you going to make content for a whole year about a subject that doesn't help you make sales? Probably not. So it's important to be passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah, it's about your intention as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, earlier you said starting your business was hard, right?
Starting I've had a lot of ideas that went very badly, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have many businesses, and then you had several businesses that were not successful. Can you tell me about a very tough time about your business and how you got through it?
Do you remember in 2016, we had 2 businesses that we opened at the same time when we didn't really know anything about business?
That was brave, though.
So
it was really crazy.
For the viewers at home, we decided, actually it was my idea really, because you just kind of agreed to it.
Because I didn't know anything.
You didn't know anything, and I had a bit more experience in business because I had been running franchises in England, but I'd only have experience around customer service and sales and managing people. I had no experience with building a business from scratch.
Yeah.
So you trusted me. You trusted that these were good ideas. In hindsight, they probably weren't very good ideas, but that's okay. because you have to fail to become successful. I
True.
don't think there's any successful people that haven't had loads of failures before they became successful. So anyway, in 2016, we had 2 businesses that were not particularly successful. And I think we'd also started a huge music festival that was also losing money. So we really had 3 businesses at the same time, none of them making any money. And at the same time, you were teaching privately.
Wow.
And I was also teaching online, I think, privately as well.
So we had like 4 jobs.
We had like 5 businesses on the go, or 5 jobs on the go. And we were running out of money by the day. We were going to go bankrupt for sure. Super high stress. Very, very stressful. And to add to the stress, your parents' house started to fall down. Your parents' house, which was very, like, what was it made from? Wood and metal, like old.
Very old.
Very old house.
Very old.
And your mum kept sending you photos of the house that was falling down. And it was very, very stressful, wasn't it?
I remember I cried actually because, you know, I was really stressed. And the fact that we had so many responsibilities, so many jobs to do. And I think we were in our 20s. Late 20s.
I may have been just 30 or something, I think. But I mean, the point is that you have to fail to become successful.
That's true.
And it's about learning. Every time we lost a lot of money, we would learn how not to lose money next time, right? And we're slowly getting better at not losing money on crazy ideas, right?
So anyway, I mean, looking back, right? So which mistake taught you a lot and what did you learn?
Okay, so talking about trying to have 5 different jobs all at the same time, what I learned from that is focus on one thing at a time.
That's true.
When you try to, what I thought back then was if I try many things at the same time, one of them will work and that will be successful. But what I've now learned is when you do that, you spread yourself too thin. If you try to do many things at the same time, you can't do one thing really well. You can do 10 things badly. But if you take that same energy and you just focus on one thing and go all in on that, then you can get really, really good at one thing and be successful at it. That's kind of what I learned, I think, from doing that.
Yeah, I do agree with you because I used to think that I can do many things at the same time as well. And it hurts me.
It does.
You know, you can't do that because it will kill you.
What happens is you don't, it means you're not good at anything. You have to focus in on one thing and get really good at that one thing.
Yeah, that's true. So now let's talk about philosophy a little bit, you know, because I love talking about things like that.
Sure.
So what beliefs that are important to you when you make decisions maybe at work or in your life?
Okay, something that I'm trying to get better at is transparency.
Okay.
Because especially, and this comes back to Thai culture, maybe partly as well. I find, I mean, I've traveled all around the world and I think every culture, people don't always say what they mean. And I think in like the work environment in Thailand, sometimes it can be difficult to get people to disagree with you, you know, because you have like a hierarchy, right? Like in our business, we have quite a young business. Most people are pretty young. Most people are younger than me in our business, okay? And I think that in Thai culture, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but in Thai culture, you have to really respect people that are older than you. So if an older person has an idea, sometimes it can be difficult to tell someone older than you that you don't agree or you think that idea isn't going to work or that their idea is bad. Would you say that's partly true?
Partly true, yeah, partly.
So I think with transparent, I try to push transparency, because I want people to disagree with me because I have a lot of ideas, and based on historic evidence, a lot of my ideas have not worked. But you have to like test a lot of things, and you have to try many things to find out what works and what doesn't. So I'm trying to be honest and try to get people to be honest with me. I think that's really important for life and business.
That's good. That's good. Do you have any daily routines that keep you focused and motivated?
I have a lot of daily routines.
Maybe give me 2.
I wake up, I meditate for 10 minutes, then I read for 30 minutes, and then I go and exercise for 30 minutes. And I try to do that every day, because I used to wake up and check my phone, and I've found that this is not a good way to start the day. It's better to have a period of time where you don't use technology when you wake up, just so you can kind of like ground yourself, balance yourself for the day. And because I have a lot to think about in life, I find that meditating for 10 minutes every morning kind of just like sets me up for the day, like clears my head. And then reading. If I don't do those 3 things when I wake up, my life is so busy that they won't get done any time after that. So that's how I start my morning every day.
That's nice. Talking about using a phone in the morning, I try not to do that as well, because I notice that if I do that, so if I get up early, when I get up early in the morning, and then the first thing is, you know, if I use my phone in the morning, I will get anxious about that. I get really anxious about that, because maybe the very first thing you see on your phone probably is about bad news. It's bad news. Someone died, you know, or some problems.
It could be.
Some crazy things. So it's probably not a very good idea to do that in the morning. So I
if possible, not everyone has the same privileges that we do.
True.
Right? Some people, they work 2 jobs and they wake up and they hit the ground running. If you know this term, it just means as soon as they wake up, they have to like get to work, start working. But I'm lucky. I can spend the first hour of my day doing some more like mindfulness stuff.
That's true.
That's
true. And now, last question for you. As you can see right here, you know, I have maybe a great selection of books.
A library.
I know, a library. Kruan's library, really. What is your favorite book?
Ooh, my favorite book. Well, that is difficult. I read all the time. Oh, I know.
You want to grab it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Atomic Habits.
Okay.
Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books. It's not probably my favorite because I have read so many books, I'm not sure. But Atomic Habits is one of my favorites because it was like a game changer for me about how to make or break habits. One of the things I learned from this book was you can only start a new habit. This is a new habit if you find it difficult, right? If you're finding it hard to make a new habit, you should stack it with something else. For example, if you want to meditate for 10 minutes, but you find it really difficult, you should stack it with another habit. For example, whenever you brush your teeth in the morning, after you brush your teeth, you meditate. So then your brain thinks, every time I brush my teeth, I meditate, and it puts them together. Anyway, this is, I learned a lot from this book, and everybody should read this if you're the sort of person that likes to develop themselves and start new habits, or even break bad habits. This is a good one.
Nice. Thank you. Well, Tom, thank you so much for being my first guest today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Sure.
Like in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. High five.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching my first podcast ครูหวาน podcast นะคะก็ in the future if you want me to invite anyone please let me know บอกครูหวานได้ในคอมเมนต์ข้างล่างเลยรู้สึกว่าอยากให้มีการปรับปรุงอยากให้ฟีดแบ็กอะไรก็สามารถให้ไว้ได้ในช่องคอมเมนต์ข้างล่างเลยนะคะและสิ่งที่สำคัญที่สุดอย่าลืมฝากกดไลค์กดแชร์ฝากกดติดตามแล้วก็กด subscribe ให้ครูหวานด้วยแล้วครั้งหน้าเนี่ยจะมีแขกคนไหนมาก็คอยติดตามชมได้เลยค่ะGood news สำหรับข่าวดีวันนี้นะคะครูหวานมีกลุ่มหนึ่งค่ะนักเรียนเป็นกลุ่มที่รวมตัวคนที่ชอบพูดภาษาอังกฤษอยากเก่งภาษาอังกฤษด้วยกันกลุ่มนั้นชื่อกลุ่มว่า Speak Easy ในกลุ่มนี้เข้าฟรีไม่มีค่าใช้จ่ายเลยแม้แต่บาทเดียวครูหวานทำขึ้นมาเพราะอยากให้เราได้ฝึกพูดภาษาอังกฤษครูหวานจะมีการทำ Zoom ฟรีจะมีการแจก PDF จะมีการทำ Exclusive Content ต่างๆด้วยนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นห้ามพลาดมาจอยกันฟรีชวนเพื่อนๆมาด้วยก็ได้วิธีการเข้าไปในกลุ่ม Speak Easy นักเรียนสามารถดูในคอมเมนต์ข้างล่างแล้วกดทำตามขั้นตอนที่ครูหวานบอกไว้ได้เลยนะคะแล้วเรามาเจอกันในกลุ่ม Speak Easy ค่ะ So thank you everyone see you next time bye